night. Dennis, you're meant to be casting this one with me. You ended up joining me a little bit early. It's great to have you here.
Yeah, it's really good to be here. A little bit rushed as I have to step in game number 4 because Simdog had some technical difficulties. But nevertheless, a really good matchup coming up here in the Champions Division, as it will be Retirement Home taking it up against the Storm. So it's gonna be a great series. The Champions Division, of course, like I've said, the second division or second highest division of the ECC. So I can expect a lot coming out of this series.
Yeah, I'll be hoping for great things. I revealed it earlier. This will be my third ever Rocket League cast, and this will probably be the highest level I've ever seen as a caster. So I'm looking forward to it, and hopefully they can show me some great things and make me fall in love with casting forever, Dennis.
Yeah, we see Retirement Home, which is actually a really good team. One of our mods, of course, Faded is playing in it. Retirement Home against the Storm, and the Storm, we have seen them in Division 1 last season. It was quite comfortable for them. I think they were seed number 2 going into Division 1. They won Division 1 at the end as well. So no big issue for them winning Division 1, but now they are here in the Champions Conference 2, where everything is becoming a little bit harder for them. Right now, I think they're going to face their hardest opponent they have to play as of yet in Retirement Home. Retirement Home with 4-0 in the league, second place tied up with Magma Gaming, who also is going 4-0, and the Storm 2-2 in the league, is in playoff spot at the moment, fourth place though. So yeah, nothing is secure for them as of yet. We're only halfway through this season, so everything could happen. And the Storm, it's gonna be a really tight matchup for them.
Yeah, definitely 4-0. The question is do you have an invincible season, or when is it going to end if you're not going to? I mean, 2-2 is definitely not a bad record. So I think both teams might be a little bit cautious going into this one, especially when you're just clinging on to playoff spots. You don't want to lose this one at all.
Yeah, no, definitely not. It is a really big matchup for Retirement Home, of course. You have to play against fourth place. You can't underestimate them. Yes, they are from Division 1. And yes, maybe all the 3 players of Retirement Home, they have that experience in Champions Division or even higher. But, you can't take this series, just with you. You can't just say, we already won. We play against a former Division 1 side, because the Storm, they have showed that they already have the 2 wins here in the Champions Conference too. I think one of them was a forfeit against Domino Esport, but nevertheless, they still won that other series. But yeah, like I've already said, the Retirement Home, their players are really high paced, are really quick on the ball as well. You can't give them any space, because if you do, they will just capitalize on that, and the Storm will just definitely, they will just concede out of that. If they're not keeping up with the pace of Retirement Home, it's just done and dusted in this series. They need to keep up with the pace of Retirement Home, play their own game, maybe even slow down the game to not let the quality of Retirement Home letting that happen in this game. Because as I've already said, the speed of the Retirement Home players is incredible. They have that quality in the Champions Conference, and it's just a question: are they going to profit from that quality, maybe having the better players, or will Glasgow Storm, well, I have to say the Storm, Glasgow Storm, it was last season, will the Storm be able to win this series after all?
Yeah, a lot of pressure on both sides here for different reasons. Being 4-0 up, as I said, you don't want to get that losing record. Even if one of them's a forfeit, 3-0 up is still a great start. The Retirement Home, they'll be looking to withstand the Storm, as players will be joining the match. We're getting into this one shortly. If you had to make a prediction, would you say the Retirement Home boys should be able to stop the young upstarts?
Yeah, I would say Retirement Home 3-1 for them would be making sense, to be honest. I've seen Retirement Home play, I've seen the Storm play. I would say Retirement Home, they're just one of the top favorites here in Division or in Champions Conference, I have to say. Definitely in Champions Conference too. Retirement Home, top 2 contenders, I would say. And the Storm, possibly playoffs, but I can't see them taking the series against Retirement Home.
Well, it'll be a good learning experience for the Storm anyway, as they are playing a team that I think a lot of people think are better than them. Maybe it'll be a great chance for them to sort of prove themselves and make a real strong claim towards playoffs here, where, if they win this game, it might just turn out to be a bit of a competition between the two sides for which one of them is going to get into playoffs, or maybe even further up the chain, as we are going to
Yeah,
be getting into it now. Oh, sorry, go on.
yeah, Yeah, I just wanted to say we're going to see how the series will unfold. Game number one is always a little bit the game to see how each other is playing. And definitely for the Storm, it will be important to see how Retirement Mahome is going to play. As I've already said, three really quick players. We see Faded last season, I think, the number 2 quickest player of the ECC. We see Jalen, of course. If you know him a little bit, he's also just a really, really quick player. I don't know who's the third. I'm not going to pronounce the name, but it is the Storm. Needing to watch out for this team. And already, like I said, Jalen, quick player, quick team for Retirement Home. And they're already in the lead after 18 seconds played.
Yeah, you think in the Retirement Home, people's reactions would get slower, but they're just so quick. 18 seconds on the clock, they've already put the ball in the net against the Storm. The Storm's going to be wondering what hit them. They do get the kickoff nice for them, although it will be huge not hitting the ball up the pitch. And they'll be going for a second goal, maybe even just as quick. It's another shot from Jalen, a little bit further to the right, and it could already be 2-0. It's an absolute blistering start by the Retirement Home boys.
Could have been 2-0 already indeed for the Retirement Home boys, but now we see Glasgow Storm having the possession here. Well, possession really quick because it's already taken over by Retirement Home. Now it's huge not going up for it, getting it off the ceiling. I think it is Filthy Peanut being behind the huge not account, but I'm just gonna call him Filthy Peanut. But talking about Filthy, it is Brem with the shot and the equalizer as well in this game number one. Brem just all by himself, getting the hook shot as well. We saw Faded nearly getting damaged by Percy, kind of avoids it, maybe got bumped a little bit, but the Storm definitely will take that as they will equalize here in this game.
Well, I guess the question is, we all know how quick Retirement Home are. Maybe if the ball gets slowed down a little bit more, maybe the Storm, they can maybe get comfortable in possession, slow the game down. Maybe that's their win condition, as it seems that once again, the Retirement Home, they're going to be trying to score a nice early goal. Their first attempt has been thwarted. The second one is coming in now, faded across the net. Filthy Peanut unable to connect with it. So once again, it's possession towards the halfway line. The Storm, they're trying to find one in, little pace straight into the keeper. Faded flicking that one forward. Jalen with the pass onwards. And he's accidentally hit his teammate there. That's going to be awkward, as there's no one pushed up yet for the Storm. So they're trying to get in positions to launch an attack, which is sadly thwarted, as Filthy Peanut is going to try and make some sort of inroads for the Retirement Home players, but they're unable to do so as of yet. Jalen with the shot, that's in as well. And it just feels like all of a sudden the switch is flipped. It feels like Storm said they're just doing a little bit of possession on the halfway line, and then all of a sudden, bang, bang, Retirement Home, the ball's in the net.
Yeah, and well, I've said already, the Storm needs to, watch out for, how Retirement Home is going to play. The Storm kind of giving possession away. Percy did not have the best hits on his car, and then Fader was on the wall, gets a middle pass to Jalen, and Jalen will not miss those, and will get the second goal for Retirement Home, and getting the 1-goal lead back in this game number one, of course. Now we see in the corner, huge not getting the ball out. Faded tries to take it over as Percy will take it over from him as he tries to get it over, but Brem already up, beating. Okay, I'm just gonna call him Filthy Bean from now on. I'm not gonna be confused with that name anymore. The little pace without boost still gets it. It's Filthy Bean missing the ball, and it is an all open, and now Percy will get it in past the defender. Maybe against the run of play, it will be the Storm equalizing for the second time in this game.
It's such a contrast from the last game we watched, where it was every game was a maximum of 3 goals. There's already 4 in this one, and we're not even halfway through it. Lightning pace in this one from the Storm and the Retirement Home boys. The Storm have been able to match them so far, although that one was a little bit of a lucky goal. Filthy Peanut missing the hit on the halfway line, and there was no one anywhere near close to the net to cover it. So it's a bit of a gift for the Storm. They are still in this game, even though it has felt like the Retirement Home have dominated so far.
Yeah, I would say indeed, the Retirement Home, they had the majority of the pressure. Although, we see 5 shots for the Storm and 4 shots for Retirement Home. We see, the ball is mainly on the half of the Storm, like we are seeing now, but nonetheless, it is, Retirement Home not quite getting the shots on target at the Storm goal. But right now we see the Storm in the offense getting the 3rd goal, actually. Wow, we see the Storm in the lead, actually. The underdogs, Percy with a great pass into the middle, and little pace, really, really having that good pace on his car, getting the ball into the goal, off the ceiling, and gets the lead for the Storm.
Well, this feels completely against the run of play. It feels shocking. It feels like if you if you had to watch this game blind and it just cut before every goal and you're asked which team was winning, you'd say Retirement Home. But Storm, every time they get a chance, they're just finding the net, and that's all you can do. Is Jalen goes pretty close to fixing things for the Retirement Home players, unable to do so. Bram, that's a little bit wide, probably would have been covered as well. As Jalen will try and take this one away. It feels like it's been the Jalen show for the Retirement Home. He's been the player finding the net so far, as that's gone in from faded. Caster's Curse strikes me down as we are back level.
Yeah, this time it is another goal, but an assist from Jalen. Well, you could say an assist from Jalen, but it is more little plays, just popping it up into the middle. Quite dangerous if you ask me, as faded. It's just there, you know, waiting for little plays hit. Doesn't get a hit though, gets the ball dribbled into the middle, and Fader will get the goal. We'll get the third for Retirement Home. 1 minute to go, and we really have a strong battle right here between two, you know, giants of the Champions Conference still. Already in game number 1, we see, you know, quite an even game. I haven't, you know, I did not expect it from both sides. Well, from the Storm, that it would actually be this close of a game. Now we see a huge shot from Little Plays, but Filthy Peanut in goal to save the shot. So now see Filthy Peanut maybe trying to go for them. I know he goes for the ball on the backboard. 2 players going up for it from the Storm. Now Jalen, free play for him, but it is still Percy getting the save, getting it on the crossbar. 50 seconds to go, and we still are looking at a 3-0 game here in game number 1.
Yeah, things have definitely slowed down a little bit in the second half of the game. We've only had 1 goal so far in this half of the first match, as Jalen's looking to change that. Unable to do so though. He definitely looks like the most live wire in this game 1, and as I say that, he puts it in. The Retirement Home have righted what they feel would be a wrong against them, going 3-2 down. They've restored their lead 4-3 to score to them.
Yeah, and we see just the passing plays coming out of the Retirement Home players. We see Filthy Peanut just getting up the ceiling perfectly to Jalen, and we know Jalen 6 shots, 3 goals. Really the attacker, the offender, the MVP so far of this game number 1. Here Fader goes for it, gets the block on Little Plays, can't get a 50 into goal though, as we now see Bram, you know, is desperately looking for one of his teammates to follow up. No one's going there, and they really need a goal in these upcoming 17 seconds, because, you know, they had a strong game against Retirement Home. They made 3 goals. It's only a 1 goal deficit, but, you know, if it's ending like this, it doesn't matter if you lose by 1 goal or 10 goals, you'll lose the game anyways. So, you know, right now they need to score really soon. It doesn't look like it's gonna happen. Now we see Bram going for the shot. Faded will drop it down, in Retirement Home will win game number 1, you know, with the run of play. You know, we all predicted it, but in the end, still a closer game than we expected.
Yeah, I guess the worry is, if you're a Storm fan, that they're not going to be as close as they were in that game. This might have been their big chance to get one over on the Retirement Home. In the end, they're unable to hold on to their lead and end up Jalen with the hat-trick, completes it at the end. 4-3, the Retirement Home take it. But do you think they'll be able to have the stamina of the Storm to be able to keep up with the Retirement Home play going into this second match?
Well, they have to, right? You know, they need to in the upcoming games. They had a pretty strong performance in the end. You know, the passing plays and the speed from Retirement Home just got them off guard a little bit at the end. But they have been in a 3-2 lead position. They have been in a 1 goal lead position at some point in the game. And now it is, of course, Retirement Home winning the game with 4-3 in the end. But, you know, I can see the Storm maybe winning a game. I think I predicted a 3-0 win for Retirement Home. But the Storm, they have the potential to, you know, win a game against them, or maybe even win the series if they, you know, get their stuff together. You know, maybe forget about last game, take the benefits, take the strengths out of that game. Then possibly we can see the Storm getting a game, maybe getting the series as well against Retirement Home. We're gonna see in game number 2, of course. Game number 1 went to Retirement Home with Faded, Jalen, and of course Filthy Peanut. But Jalen, great offender. Now we see Faded with the shot early on in this game number 2. It does not fall in the net though, as we now see still a goalless game here, 15 seconds in this game number 2.
Yeah, early pinball shots headed directly towards the Storm net, although no goal being found as of yet. A slightly slower start, which feels funny to say, but just shows how rapid the first game was. Jalen is looking to continue his good form. That pinch isn't going to work out, as it looks like, I was going to say it looks like Storm might have a chance to attack, but immediately Faded recovers and pings the ball back towards the Storm's net. They've not got out of their half yet. This has been dominant showing, but there's been absolutely nothing to show for it yet. They still are yet to claim the goal. That's just wide from Faded. Chance for Jalen to follow up. It's off the post again. Faded, it feels like Faded and Jaden are doing passes off the post of the Storm net at the moment that will eventually, I was about to say will eventually get away, but it won't even. It's complete domination by the retirement home so far, but no goals as of yet.
Yeah, it has to be so, difficult to play against a retirement home side. You have been pushed into your own half for 1 minute straight. Well, the Storm, props to them. They haven't been scored on, and it's still a goalless game in game number 2, but it has been retirement home all game. Now we finally see the ball in the half of the retirement home side for the first time in this game, but not for long though, as now we see Faded with the shot. It goes over the ball, no real danger for the Storm side. I see Filthy Peanut air dribbling it back to Jalen. Now Jalen in a 1-1 situation, don't want to leave him like that, and well, you can see why. It is Jalen, the man who has experience on this level, playing in this level. Yeah, the once man, you could say, beating out Percy and Jalen with the first goal of this game.
He's been absolutely stellar so far, Jalen. He's continuing his form into the second match. Wins the 1v1 against the keeper, flicks the ball into the top left, and retirement home. They get the goal that you feel like they definitely deserve from their performance so far in this match. But it seems like the Storm, remember last time after retirement home took the early leads, the Storm then went on to score 2 goals in quick succession, take themselves into the lead instead. Retirement home will be hoping that history doesn't repeat itself, but it will, as the Storm have just gone down the other end of the pitch and scored.
Yeah, and this is, when you really want to play speedy, you really want to play as fast as possible. These overcommits can happen from the retirement home side. You can see them happening a little bit at third man position, and we exactly saw that. I think it was Filthy Peanut being third man, overcommitting a little bit, pushing up way too early, or well, rather way too late. This is just how you look at it. And in the end, it was the Storm, getting a free goal. Little Pace is dribbling it into the opposition's goal. And now, again, we see an equal score, but this time it is not as equal or not as even this game as last game. We see an equal scoreline, yes, but it's still retirement home with the majority of the pressure. Now the ball falls towards the backboard of the Storm. It doesn't fall in though, as we now see Filthy Peanut keeping up the pressure. Little Pace can clear it out, has a little bit of time to work with, tries to go for the edge roll, but Jalen already up to block that shot. Now double commit once again there from retirement home. A little bit communication error. Now the ball to the right side. Little Pace going up for that with a shot, but Jalen in the way of the goal, blocking that shot. Little Pace now down towards Bram. Bram can't get a good shot out of that as he gets blocked by the opposition. Percy tries to go for it, tries to chase him down, but can't quite make it in time, as Jalen will take his time. Really smart play from him, tries to get the ball to the left side. Yeah, once again, I can say, Jalen, he is so far the MVP of this game. He's playing so very well, and yeah, it's just so hard for the Storm's defense to defend this Jalen man.
Yeah, I 100% agree. It seems like him and Faded seem to be the two players who are just a step above the rest of them. That's not a slant on Filthy Peanut, but it's almost like he's not needed to do as much considering how dominant his teammates have been. Although it is 1-1, I feel like the retirement home might be ruining missed chances earlier on in this game, as things seem to be swinging more towards the Storm with every passing second. The ball seems to be unable to leave the box of the retirement home, although it will now. Chance for a shot from Faded, huge not unable to flick that towards the net. Things slowing down a little bit, which seems to be more Storm's way of going for it. So they've not been able to really start peppering the net with shots, start firing them in.
Yeah, in the beginning it was really retirement's home with a lot of pressure, but after the goal of the Storm, the Storm, they came back, they got the momentum. But as I say that, it is the caster's curse, as you see Filthy Peanut with a great goal. It just goes for the air dribble, gets it past Bram a little bit low. Little Pace also not in time to block that shot, to block the air drop, and retirement home up by 1 goal once again in this game.
Yeah, you got to feel for the Storm. They've definitely been the slightly weaker team, but they're going to find nothing for this unless they can suddenly make a change, head down the other end of the pitch and find another nice goal. It's Little Pace seems to be trying to do it all himself with that dribble, unable to find anything, so it's a 2 versus 1, just one player in the net. Pass towards Huge Nut is not going to find him. So the pressure is firmly on the Storm here.
Yeah, definitely. We see the Storm now in the offense though, trying to get a shot in, but it is Filthy Peanut getting the save. The defender of retirement home, you could say, with Faded and Jaden as the real fast players of the team in the offense. But then still, you need someone defensive, and that's Filthy Peanut for them. He's been quite solid overall in this game as well. Also, getting that goal, and now we see Faded getting also a goal. Everyone of retirement home getting a goal. And well, at 0-2, this game has been decided, done and dusted, 2-goal deficit, and the Storm will lose yet another game. And game number 2 will go to retirement home.
Yeah, the final score feels a little bit fairer than what it would look like it was going to be earlier on. The retirement home do pick up that final goal. They were definitely the better team. For the first 2.5 minutes, it was just all them. They were just constantly attacking the Storm's net, unable to find anything outside of that one goal from Jalen. But in the end, they do come through. They find 2 goals towards the end of the match, as well as a nice 0-2 goal. Slightly less exciting 0-2 goal than ones we're used to because it went in the wrong net. But the retirement home, you feel like they're firmly in control of the series now.
Yeah, definitely. Retirement home, I can't see them, losing it now. They are 2-0 up in the series. They have 3 lives left against the Storm. They are playing better. You can just look at the shots, 10 shots against 4 shots of the Storm. So, yeah, the benefits are there. The advantages are there for retirement home out of these 2 games. The question is, can they keep this up in the next game, in game number 3? If they can, well, the Storm has no chance at all. And the Storm, they're not playing bad at all, but it's just retirement home with input passes, with the balls into the middle, with the good shots, with the good solo plays as well. It's just, the quality of the play is being better, and then, there's not much to do against it. It's like you play, or you let a 1900 team play against an RCS team, it's just not gonna work. It's just the RCS team being all over you. That can happen. The Storm being, former Division 1 team, coming out of Division 1, Champions Division is a little bit, higher. It's a little bit harder to play against, and they are witnessing that right now. Retirement home just maybe being a little bit too good of a match here for them. And yeah, the game number 3, it is match point for retirement home, but it's not over yet, as we saw the Storm already early on in this game number 3 with a great offense.
It does feel like the Storm, they have scored a fair few goals in this series, but it feels like every time they score, it's a retirement home mistake. As Percy, he's online now, he's found his first goal of the series, put one in, and we've been talking about how fast the retirement home players have started, but we've seen the complete opposite as the Storm, they've taken an early lead here.
Yeah, great passing play as well from the Storm. His little pace, good input pass from him, and Percy with a shot. And even Jalen being in goal, he couldn't do anything against it. It was so fast, and we saw Jalen going for the pre-jump, couldn't quite make it anymore. And that will be the first goal. But as I say that, a very, very fast response from the 30 seconds in this game number 3. And his scoreline is already 1-0 Bram, trying to clear it out. There to block the shot, or to block the clear, getting a dunk on Bram, and it will be 1-0 retirement home, scoring 30 seconds in this game number 3.
Yeah, back and forth. It feels more game 1 than game 2, as both teams seem to have found inroads in this one. The Storm will be looking to try and restore their lead. They have had an early attack, which feels rare in this game. After kickoff, it always feels like post kickoff is when the retirement home are at their best, but it's actually little pace. The man putting the shot in, slightly over the bar though, and a follow-up from Brown, who's been, I feel like, the quietest player on the server so far, unable to get started there.
Yeah, Peanut popping the ball up as we see Percy trying to go for the passing play to Bram. Bram popping it off the backboard, little pace with the shot in, but Faded will save the ball any day of the week, as we now see Filthy Peanut with a good 50, to be honest. Faded, not much boost to go, and yeah, he went for the area, not maybe the wisest decision. Now we see Bram going for the flick, Jalen getting, or well, it was Filthy Peanut getting down with Jalen, went for the pre-jump. It will be little pace though, going for that goal, actually gets the goal, and well, it will be yet again the Storm in the lead here in game number 3.
Feels like we're seeing a completely different Storm. They've been firmly on the front foot in this. Maybe it's just having your life on the line. Maybe that just has pushed them, given them the extra 5% that's put them firmly ahead in this game. It feels like the retirement home players have only really had one attempt on the net of the Storm, and that was their only goal. As the ball is again floated towards the net, unable to find any connections there. The Storm is Jalen, who's been basically neutralised this game so far. It feels weird to say, considering how potent he was in the first 2. The shot chance here is cleared away, so decent defending from the retirement home players here. They've kept themselves to a 1-goal deficit, and I do feel it's inevitable that this game, the balance of power might start shifting their way soon.
Yeah, maybe this is the start of their reverse sweep here in this series. Of course, this game has been all Glasgow's, all the Storm's game And well, it has been rewarded with a 1-goal deficit so far. It is half time though, and definitely it will not stay a 1-goal deficit if Faded does this. A beautiful double tap from him, and well, yeah, it's just that the retirement home plays, the mechanical skills they're having, the speed they're having, and you can expect goals like these. Faded, a beautiful goal from him.
Yeah, that's just the X factor for the retirement home, is you could just have a moment like that from Jaden or Faded. Dirty Nut or Huge Nut could probably do that as well, although he hasn't really shown as much this game as the other two. They've just had moments of brilliance, and that's a great one from Faded there. Although playing that Bram, this could be his chance to get on the score sheet. Unable to find the ball past the keeper there, as that's just about saved on the line by Bram. He's getting more into the action here, which is definitely an encouraging sign if you're a Storm fan. But it seems like things are shifting in favour of the retirement home. They're having more of the ball. The ball seems to be shifting more and more towards the Storm's net. Their lead has evaporated, but it looks like they might be behind soon.
Yeah, Little Pace now trying to get the ball into the middle. A big clear coming out though, as we see Bram needing to take control in his own corner. Gets another touch, maybe a little bit too far in front of him without boost, but still manages to follow the ball up. Not getting beat by his opposition, as we see Fader now going up for getting the ball into the middle. While we see Filthy Beans also going for no one from the Storm, challenging there, as we now see Percy and Little Pace both going for the same ball, but Little Pace still managing to recover with the demo on the opposition. Now we see Bram without boost missing the ball as well. Percy really up with that because of that whiff from Bram. And now we see Little Pace in the corner. 1 minute and 20 seconds to go. We see a 2-0 scoreline, but it is the Storm who needs to watch out for the third goal retirement home, because, it can just happen so quickly with these players. Retirement home, it can take maybe 1 second and the ball is already in the goal of the Storm.
Yeah, Jalen, he's not had a big moment this game. That looked like it might have changed there. It said it's Faded with a fairly tame shot. Percy, a fairly easy save. It's a double commit for the save there. It does work out okay. As Faded, he's going to go for a double touch save by Percy. Jalen a little bit too high. He's not trying to flick it towards Faded, but he's not going to be able to find the end of that. Instead, it's just pinball on the halfway line. Every player seeming to be getting a touch. His little Pacey will eventually take it away, and will start something of a dribble of his own. A huge flick from Huge Nut, and that's looked like it was destined for the top corner. Bram forced to step in and stop the ball from sleeping into the net. 25 seconds now. A single goal by retirement home could be fatal for the Storm and their hopes of staying alive in this series.
Yeah, no, definitely. It is, of course, 2-0 for the retirement home side in this series. And of course, this game, if it will be won by retirement home, then it will be series done and dusted. We saw an offense there from the Storm, but unfortunately for the Storm, Little Place got demoed, can't quite get any contact with the ball anymore. Looks like we're approaching OT unless 40p can make something out of it. Now Jalen going for the shot, and that has to hurt for the Storm side. It is a clean sweep for retirement home. It is, maybe something we would expect it. The Storm losing with yet another 1-goal deficit, just like in game number 1. But now in game number 3, we see a 0-second goal coming out of retirement home, winning this series with 3-0.
Yeah, you got to feel a bit bad for the Storm. They were 1 goal behind in the first game and 1 goal behind there, but that's not what matters. You're still behind, and they lose 2 0-second goals in the second game and the third game are what the Storm needed to get past them in the end. But I think that at the end of the day, it was just a tiny gulf in class between the two sides.
Yeah, in the end, retirement home, the team plays between them. Fade and Jalen in the offense is unstoppable. We have seen some great goals from the lads of retirement home, and in the end, the Storm, good fight from them, but it's just not enough to win against the retirement home side. They've played well. They, potentially could make top 4, but top 2 is just a little bit too high, and top 2 is just a place where retirement home could end up at the end of the season in league play. So a lot to learn from the Storm side out of this game. Playing up against maybe a little bit better players. On average, maybe 100, 200 MMR on average higher than the players they have themselves. But in the end, not a big deal. They've lost this one. They still, pretty decent 2-on-2 in the league. 4th place, probably they're dropping down now to 5th, 6th place. But definitely, they can, climb back from this. This was one of the most difficult games to play in league play. They will realize that as well. They lost a 3-0, 2 1-goal deficit games, and in the end, it just wasn't enough. But definitely, it wasn't a shit show from them to be saying.
Well, it's the sort of game that you could be really happy because you did actually kind of take them close on every map. But then at the same time, you could be really upset because you think you could have maybe snuck 1 or 2 past them. I think the Storm will definitely, it was not a blowout by any stretch of the imagination. They did play quite well. But at the end of the day, you just think Faded and the boys, they were just too strong. Think about the individual players. If you hear Percy and Bram, you don't really get the same connection as you Jaden and Faded. They could just make something happen out of nothing. All of a sudden, they just take the ball, double touches, and brilliant goals from them.
Yeah, definitely. They are just 3 world class players. What world class is a little bit hard to say, but definitely
a little bit strong.
Yeah, I mean they're good players nonetheless. But for this division, they are just a really good team. Just not making it into the Vortex division, of course, the highest division of the ECC. But then that makes them, being one of the favorites here in the Champions Conference to win it. But that's all for today. We got all the games. We have seen all the series today on stream. So I think it's just time to close out the stream for today. So Blue Wolf, it was your first time casting for the ECC, if I'm not mistaken. Do you want to say anything else to the chat?
I just want to say thank you guys for watching. I got a little bit tongue-tied at times because, it's my second ever Rocket League cast, my first in this brilliant league. I really love my time here. You see you, and I'm like a really talented caster, and I'm sure with people like you, I'm in great company, and I'll learn a lot from you.
Yeah, it was great to have you. We've just received a raid from the IEL, the Imperial Esports League, of course, our partners. Thank you very much, but unfortunately, we are going to end the stream right now. We have seen 3 series today on stream. So, thank you all for watching. We'll be with you. We'll be back with a stream very soon again. Maybe tomorrow, we're gonna see. But we'll keep you up to date. So, maybe I'll see you tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow. And have a good night.
Good night.
Cause I will never be the same.